Welcome to our cinematic story, Craft English Learning YouTube channel. Today is very interesting story, My Grandmother First Love. This story is very helpful for your English learning, listening, and speaking skills. So listen carefully and feel free and enjoy the story. My grandmother, Evelyn, was the heart and soul of our family. Born in a small village in 1925, she lived a life full of stories, each more captivating than the last. Her wisdom, resilience, and unwavering love left an indelible mark on everyone who knew her. Among the countless tales she shared, one particular story stands out. A story of courage, love, and a touch of magic that defined her spirit.
In the winter of 1943, during the height of World War II, my grandmother was just 18 years old. Her village was nestled in the rolling hills of the English countryside, a picturesque setting that belied the harsh realities of the time. The war had cast a long shadow over the land, bringing with it fear, uncertainty, and loss. Despite the turmoil, Evelyn's village remained a close-knit community, bound together by a shared determination to endure.
One chilly evening, as snowflakes began to fall, a knock on the door changed Evelyn's life forever. Standing on the doorstep was a young soldier, his uniform tattered and his face etched with fatigue. He introduced himself as Thomas, a soldier on leave who had lost his way. His unit was supposed to be stationed nearby, but the confusion of war had led him astray. Evelyn's family welcomed Thomas in, offering him warmth, food, and shelter. Over the next few days, as the snowstorm raged outside, Thomas and Evelyn grew close. He spoke of the horrors of war, the comrades he had lost, and the uncertainty of the future. Evelyn, in turn, shared stories of the village, her dreams, and the simple joys of life before the war. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a bond forged in the crucible of hardship. As the days turned into weeks, Thomas became a part of village life. He helped with chores, shared his rationed provisions, and brought a sense of hope to the villagers. Evelyn and Thomas spent countless hours together, their connection deepening with each passing day. They would walk through the snow-covered fields, talking about everything and nothing, finding solace in each other's company. One evening, as they sat by the fire, Thomas took out a small, worn notebook. It was filled with sketches and notes, plans for a future far removed from the devastation of war. He shared his dream of becoming an artist, of capturing the beauty of the world on canvas. Evelyn listened, captivated by his vision and passion. In that moment, she realized that her feelings for Thomas had grown into something deeper, something more profound than friendship. However, the reality of war could not be ignored. As the snow began to thaw and spring approached, Thomas received orders to return to his unit. The night before his departure, he and Evelyn took a final walk under the moonlit sky. They stopped by an ancient oak tree, a place that had become special to them. Thomas took Evelyn's hand and made a promise. He vowed that when the war was over, he would return to the village, to her, and they would build a life together. With a heavy heart, Evelyn watched Thomas leave the next morning. his figure growing smaller until it disappeared over the horizon. Life in the village resumed its routine, but for Evelyn, everything had changed. She threw herself into helping the war effort, organizing community events, and supporting the families of soldiers. Through it all, she clung to Thomas's promise, finding strength in the hope of his return. Years passed, and the war finally came to an end. Soldiers began to return home, but there was no sign of Thomas. Letters went unanswered, and hope turned to despair. Evelyn refused to believe he was gone, holding on to the memory of their time together and the promise he had made. Her faith was unwavering, even as others urged her to move on. Then, one fateful day, as the village celebrated the end of the war, a familiar figure appeared at the edge of the crowd. Thomas had returned, his face older and marked by the trials of war, but his eyes still held the same spark. He had been injured and captured, spending years in a prisoner of war camp. But his thoughts had never strayed from Evelyn and the promise he had made under the ancient oak tree. The reunion was bittersweet. They embraced, tears mingling with smiles, the weight of years of separation falling away. Thomas showed Evelyn the notebook, now filled with sketches of the camp, his dreams kept alive through art. He had drawn her from memory, countless portraits that captured her spirit and the love that had sustained him. Thomas and Evelyn married under the ancient oak tree, surrounded by the villagers who had become their extended family. Their love story became a symbol of hope and resilience, a testament to the enduring power of faith and the human spirit. Together, they built the life they had dreamed of, creating a home filled with art, laughter, and love. Years later, as a grandmother herself, Evelyn would recount this story to her grandchildren, her eyes shining with the same light that had drawn Thomas to her so many years before. It was a story of love and courage, a reminder that even in the darkest times, hope can bloom like a flower in the snow. My grandmother's story was not just about the past. It was a living testament to the strength of the human heart, a legacy that continues to inspire us all.
Comment your feedback, like and subscribe our channel.